our channel, the Philippine and Canadian Adventures with Dan and Rochelle. Today's topic, we are going to tackle about how
How how to bring your spouse, Filipina, how do you bring her to Canada or the USA?
yeah.
So I guess it was quite. I hate paperwork. I guess first of all, I just can't stand paperwork. So people told me you can do it for very cheap to do it yourself, but I've heard some horror stories of people trying to do it themselves, and they're doing it still for 2 to 3 years, trying to get their wife or girlfriend into their home country. Um, so when I first thought about this, I have a friend here. He's a Filipino, and he got married in the Philippines. And he got married about a year before us. And I asked him, I said, what do you do? Like, I want to start this procedure. And he says, well, you can do it yourself. It's a lot cheaper. And I said, well, it's a lot of paperwork. I don't want to bother with that. And it's definitely a lot of paperwork. Uh, so what I did is he recommended to do it himself. And I said, well, how much did you spend? He spent, I don't know, a couple $1,000 trying to do it. And this was a year before we got married. So even to this day, now it's another year and a half later, he still has not gotten approved. And that was because he tried to do it himself. So he went through, and I guess they missed some stops and procedures you're supposed to do along the way, getting your biometrics and stuff, and your medical, and he never got them done in order, and then he never got them in time, so they started it over. So what I highly recommend here is getting a company to do it for you, and it's the only way as far as I'm concerned. So what was their name again, the name of the company?
Enhanced visa.
Enhanced Visa, right. Enhanced Visa, and Ada, she helped us. She was amazing.
She is.
So what it is, she told us it would be probably about a year, maybe a little bit more than a year to get this done. And I thought, okay, well, that's fine. So we started when we were in the Philippines there. And anyway, it surprisingly to us, we got stuff done. It started working fast. And then 5.5 months, we had already got our papers for Rochelle and Sarah to come to Canada, which was amazing. It was only 5.5 months. So what it was, we spent about what, 100, what was the original fee for?
122,000.
122,000 pesos was the fee to get the whole thing done, everything. And then what did we have to pay? Did we have to pay for the medical? I can't remember.
Additional 15,000.
15,000. So for under 150,000, if you don't want any headaches, you want it done quick, I highly recommend Enhanced Visa and Ada there. She was amazing. Anytime we had any problems, anything we weren't sure of, we either phoned her or went down and saw her. Any papers, if she needed copies, she would copy them. There was no other charges for anything. It does sound like a bit of money, but it's really not that bad. It was, less than 3,000 Canadian, whatever it was, to get both of them there. And it's the only way to do it as far as I'm concerned. So we're very, very happy with it. Now, when you're leaving, you do have to make sure you pay a couple of things. If your spouse or wife has children, again, you have to make sure they're all their paperwork and documents and passports and so on, the regular stuff. But they do have to pay a departure tax when they leave. You won't have to, but they will if they're Filipinos. So you pay that departure tax. One thing to keep in mind, especially if you're going to Canada, you cannot land in any U.S. airport, even for just an hour or two. They won't allow it. Doesn't matter if you stay in the terminal, out of the terminal. Believe me, I went through it all. They do not allow people there. It's a certain visa you need, and you need to send your passport off and wait for that. And I think it's a $300 fee as well, U.S., almost $300 each.
Yeah, transit visa.
For the transit visa. and you do need one. I don't care how many people tell you don't. You do need one. Do not risk spending a fortune on airfare and then getting turned around and sent back home. So if you're going to Canada, do not go into the United States without that. Make sure you get either a transit visa and go through all that headache. I didn't want to wait that much longer for, it could be up to 3 months wait for your visa or your passport to come back in the mail. And I didn't want to take the chance of losing it. So we went a different route. So what we did, we flew to Bangkok and we spent a few days there. And then we took Thai Airlines, which is a great airline. And we flew from there. We went all the way to Japan. Mm-hmm. So you have to stay in airports that, Filipinos can go to and land at. So in Tokyo, it's a big airport there. We landed there in Tokyo. And again, you have to be careful that you stay within that terminal. Do not go out of the terminal, because then you're going to be you're going to need a visa, a transit visa. So when we went, it was perfect. It was simple. We just went straight from Bangkok. Well, we went from Cebu to Bangkok to Tokyo. And the airport was straightforward. There's somebody tells you go this way or go that way if you're, what we needed to do, if you needed a visa or you didn't. It was pretty straightforward. It was, we had quite a wait because I was paranoid and I wanted to make sure nothing was going to go wrong. But they have everything there. They had, whatever the regular airport. It's got restaurants and everything there. It was great. And then that was it. Then we flew and we got into Vancouver International, and we had to go through immigration. That was pretty straightforward, I guess. We went there and maybe half an hour or so. They asked us some questions. We got her social insurance number right there. So even Sarah's social insurance number. So right away, she's eligible to work. They give you all kinds of documents and how they can help us. And if we wanted free this or free that, they do offer a lot of amenities or services. So I'm not sure on going into the U.S. I know it's a little bit different, but for anybody that's going or trying this procedure in Canada, this is the way I would highly recommend it. Like I said, my friend still to this day, he's been more than 2.5 years, and he tried to do it by himself, and now he ended up hiring somebody, and is still trying to get his wife here. So yes, again, just make sure it's enhanced visa. They have offices in Dumaguete. We dealt with the one in Dumaguete. They have in Cebu as well, in Manila, I believe. I'm sure they have some more, but it was very straightforward with them. They helped us out, and we're so happy they did. So now I got my baby here in Canada, and Sarah's in school already, so everything's looking good now. So yes, that's a
big miracle for me.
That is some of the rundown and tips that you need to. You go for your biometrics. We had to go from Dumaguete. We had to go to Cebu. We went there and spent the night. We had to go from Dumaguete. We had to go to Cebu. We went there and spent the night there. We didn't have to, but we did just to make sure. We got all our tests done. And then a couple days later, we got called back for our medical. And then I think it was probably it was only a month after that. Yeah. Maybe after you get your medical done, you'll probably receive your approval, and your passport will be stamped with
let your passport send back to. Is that Cebu, right?
Yeah, I don't know that too. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where they sent it. I think it was to Manila, the Canadian Embassy. And then they put the stamp in there, and you get it back. And it was very quick, and we're very thankful, because usually government things take a long time. So, so those are just some of the tips that you might need to do and follow up. But anyways, thanks again for watching, and I hope this was helpful, and hope you like and subscribe. And we will be doing a whole bunch more videos from Canada here.
Yeah,
and we're very thankful, because usually government things take a long time. So, so those are just some of the tips that you might need to do and follow up. But anyways, thanks again for watching, and I hope this was helpful, and hope you like and subscribe. And we will be doing a whole bunch more videos from Canada here.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe,
Okay.
like, and comment. All right.
Okay, we will see you later.